Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming down the pike for 2026. Why 2026? Because a lot of trends coming together means that if we wait until next spring, it could already be too late to get the best value stock up, the best selection, and definitely the best peace of mind. So today we're going to dive into what's really coming in 2026, especially if you're focused on building a pantry, staying prepared for, winter, winter storms, supply disruptions, inflation, the real world of being and wanting peace of mind. That's what we're preparing for anymore. Today, I want to help you move from I should probably start to I've got a plan, I'm executing it, and I feel calm. Because by the end of this, you will have all of those. Let's begin by looking at the major trends that are shaping 2026 at this point. It's kind of the big picture, there's a bunch of different things driving the risks. So we're going to hit a few of them, and I've got the headlines to go with them. They're talking about the world economy is looking at resilience, but also transition and disruption. Yeah, it's going to be great. Growth around approximately 3% globally, but there's going to be a lot of headwinds, so it's going to be a lot of up and down and a lot of pain. It's going to be painful. As far as consumers, you and me, they're finding from different reports, consumers are hitting price limits. We're being priced out of it. We can't do it. It's costing too much, and value is paramount for most of us. And that means pressure on food and household goods, as normal. Now, supply chain, that's a whole nother gamut there. The 2026 supply chain outlook, companies are expecting tariff increases, trade disruptions, energy reliability issues, all of which feed into food, household goods, that supply risk. Manufacturing and sourcing risks they're right up there. We've just got a mess. So they're showing that supply chain complexity will increase and sourcing challenges will persist in 2026. Next, we've got the weather, because you add on to that whole list, then there's the weather. Okay, it's kind of like the candle on top. Warmer storms, grid instability, transport issues. Combine all of that with everything that I mentioned previously, and it means your household risk profile changes drastically. We're having weather occurrences that we're just not used to, we're not expecting, are highly, highly uncommon, and they're becoming more and more normal. And so that creates more reasons to prepare. What I want you to think about seriously is that these are not, far off science fiction scenarios, okay? They're happening, and they're happening right now. Your pantry isn't just for a snowstorm anymore, okay? It's for a changing system, completely changing. Preparation now means better options and less stress later. And that's what we're trying to do. So given these risks, what does that mean for your pantry? Let's look at what I call the 3 pillars of 2026 pantry preparedness. We're going to build on this thing. Yes, we are. Number 1, pillar A is a supply chain and sourcing resilience. That's what we're needing to build because it matters. Why does it matter? Disruptions. It comes down to that one word, disruptions, okay? Disruptions equal less choice, more cost, and more delay. And disruptions are happening on the daily. What you need to do in order to avoid that is to stock your items early, diversify the brands that you use. If you're tied into one brand, then you're asking for a problem. Get ahead of any pre-orders that you might be thinking about, okay? And know the origin of your key supplies. Where is that stuff coming from that you rely on, that you want, that you would like to stock up on? You want to know where it's coming from. We don't do a whole lot here in the United States anymore, but that doesn't mean that we don't do some. So you just got to jump on it when you can. Do the best that you can, okay? Now, there's a bonus for older adults. Pick items that you can easily access, rotate, and don't require complex prep. That's huge. As we age, it just gets a little more challenging every single day to do all the stuff. So you would definitely want to look at, you know, the items that you stock them up early before they come in season. Diversify the brands if at all humanly possible, because that way it's less of a shock, if you ever have to, and know the origin of where it comes. It's just that simple. And then focus on things that don't require complex preparation. Sometimes you just need the world to take it a little easy on you. So that was pillar A. Pillar A is supply chain and sourcing resilience. That was pillar A, okay? Pillar B is affordability and a value lock-in. This is really important. This is why I do what I do, okay? If prices rise and value shrinks, what you buy now versus later can really, really matter a lot. With budget pressure rising, they've been talking about it constantly, your pantry becomes a hedge against inflation. You will never buy it today for what you bought it for yesterday. And tomorrow is going to be more expensive than what you can get it today. It's not that you're not eventually going to pay the higher price. It's that you're still eating the lower price while everybody else is eating the new price, So you're able to save that little bit of money to then stock up moving forward. You have to rotate your stock. You have to eat what you store. Otherwise, you're wasting a lot of money. So buy key items now at the current price points. I can't emphasize that enough. Yes, it's not as cheap as what you're used to. It's still cheaper than what you've seen it lately. Get some. Just get some. You don't have to buy a whole pallet load, Establish budget categories, if that helps. This month you spend X amount of dollars on pantry top-ups, Figure out what works for you and for your household and your budget and the way that your funds come in, and find a way to separate it out and to stock it up. Because anything that you can buy at today's prices is going to serve you well moving forward. Another thing to pay close attention to, because we are so budget focused right now with all the prices being crazy. I mean, as you know, I did a whole video about why beef is as high as it is. It's not going away. It's not going to get a whole lot better. And so we need to find alternative ways to get our protein or to supplement our protein. In 2026, we will be focusing a lot more on different kinds of beans and stuff. I have a whole thing I'm working out for you guys. But for the time being, start doing some research, start doing some experimenting, cook some lentils, throw them in with your ground beef, make a meatloaf, nobody will ever know. Make sloppy joes, make tacos. Nobody will ever know unless they have an allergy to lentils, and then they might get a little bit of a clue. You know what I mean? Don't do that. But find different ways to supplement that protein and get it into your system because you need it. It's important. It's energy, and you need what fits your lifestyle and makes you healthier. There's no sense in eating a bunch of garbage that just makes you sick, because then you've got medical bills on top of elevated food prices. We're going to hop right into pillar C. Oh, this one's a hard one, okay? Accepting change and rotation. It's difficult sometimes, So traditional prepping often emphasizes extremes. I know, I've seen it. I'm trying to emphasize calm readiness. It's not the end of the world as we know it. You need a bunker, and you need, 14 million buckets of high sodium, high carb crap meals. No, that's not what we're doing here. We are definitely looking at calm readiness. You want to look at things like using lighter containers. Maybe not a 5-gallon bucket, maybe a 2 or a 3-gallon bucket, okay? Make sure that you mark the expiration dates so that you can know that when you got to rotate them through, so that you're paying attention to what needs to be used first. Remember, expirations are not all that in a bag of chips. They are best by dates at best. And I did a video on that too, so I'll link that below also. But you want to stash within easy reach Don't store it where it's going to be difficult, high shelves, that kind of thing. And practice a use from the pantry mindset. Use from the pantry first. Don't go to the grocery store. What do you have that could do the same thing that's in your pantry? That's what you want to use, because that's going to save you money. That's going to save you time. That's going to make everybody a whole lot happier, except for the people that make all the money off of us. Good coffee. Okay, so key takeaways from, the pillars is to use these 3 pillars as your frame. Make that your framework, okay? When you look at your pantry, ask, does it support supply resilience? Just stand in the door and look at it. Does it support supply resilience? Does it lock in value? Is it designed for you with your age, your mobility, your number of people in the house? That's what it has to do. It doesn't need to fit me. It doesn't need to fit the guy down the street. It needs to fit you and your household. So you want to take a look at those and make sure that you can use those pillars as your framework for what you have in your pantry. Let's move on now into what to stock and what to prioritize, because I know that's a big question for a lot of people, because when you're starting out or you're fairly new at this, it's a lot. It feels like a lot's coming at you, okay? And you need to zoom out and make sure that, you're taking a breath and you've got this. I promise you, you've got this. So we're going to talk about categories first, okay? Long shelf life grains or pseudo grains, okay? So rice, oats, quinoa. If you don't eat them today, don't store them, okay? I don't know how many times I have to say it, but somebody's always like, well, I'm diabetic. I'm just going to die. No, you're not. I mean, not if you get off your butt and do some research. So do some research. So you want to look at your long shelf life grains, okay? Rice, oats, quinoa, pasta. Root vegetables are fantastic, and they have a very nice natural shelf life, not like rice does. Rice is like 30 years. But with root vegetables, you can normally store those in a coolish area in your house, in your kitchen, whatever. And they help you stretch meals, definitely. I love me a butternut squash. I love sweet potatoes. I love pumpkin. I love it all. Okay, so those root potatoes, like carrots, like potatoes, like sweet potatoes, all of those kind of things. If you see them on sale, get a couple extra. It won't hurt. You can keep them in the fridge if you need to, and just make it a point to use them. They're going to stretch your budget and your meals a lot farther. Shelf-stable proteins are so important, okay? So canned fish, canned poultry, canned beef, canned pork, all of it. It's all out there. If you're not canning it yourself, which I do highly recommend, and I have a lot of videos to teach you the safe and proper method to do it, and you don't want to, I get it, that's cool, but they do sell all of this commercially canned at the grocery store. I use Walmart because I live in the middle of nowhere, and that's the store available to me, okay? So Walmart has like all kinds of different stuff. Definitely want to check it out. Is it going to cost a little bit? Yes, it is, because they did all the heavy lifting for you, and you're not catching it on sale most of the time. But you still need it. It's still important. Spread it out, You don't have to eat the whole can at one sitting. It can be a few different meals. A pound is a lot of meat for any one person to eat at any one time. Just divide it out, spread it out. Definitely look at bean, legume alternatives, that you can supplement with. Well, I'm keto. Seriously, I don't know. I hear more excuses. Anyway, stock what you eat what you stock, okay? So fruits and freeze-dried fruits are all fantastic things to have. They're not top of my list, but they are still very important, and they are often overlooked, rarely mentioned. Even I rarely mention them because they kind of seem like a splurge, If you can get apples or clementines or grapes, whatever, or if you get canned fruit. I personally love fruit cocktail, pears, peaches, applesauce, any of that stuff. That's a fruit. You want to make sure that you've got some of that incorporated into your pantry. Comes in handy for a bunch of different stuff. Water and hydration backup, often overlooked. I have a whole video. I'm going to be linking up all kinds of videos for you guys. I have a whole video talking about water and how to store it and the different things to do, because it's not a one and done. There's layers. First, you stock the water. Then you stock a way to filter it. Then you stock a way to purify it, okay? And that's the best way to handle it all, unless you want like 400 tons of water sitting, in your house. That's no fun. Nobody wants that. Alternative fuel and heat. Basics for winter storms. With Ice Mageddon that happened here earlier this year in northern Michigan, so many people out of power for months, literal months. And how are they staying warm? A lot of people learned a lot of different things. Thanks to them sharing it with us, we learned a lot of different things, like Mr. Buddy propane tank only typically lasts 3 hours if you're running it on high, okay? You want to find all the ways that you can to stay warm. It's a beautiful thing. Household supplies, because you need them. You need filters. You need lighting. You need first aid. You need basic hygiene. You need contractor trash bags, because you never know when you might have to get rid of something large. Rotation and labeling is vastly important. I cannot stress it often enough, and so you hear me say it a whole bunch. Buy what you eat what you buy what you use what you buy, okay? And then just keep rotating through it. That's all you have to do. The new stuff goes to the back. That means I have to pull all the old stuff off the shelf. Yeah. And next, you can do it. So make sure that you're rotating and labeling. Because trust me, been there, done that a couple of times now. Don't trust your memory, because she's not friendly. So throw it in the comment section down below. What are 3 items this month that you will pick up to add to your pantry? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, a little budget tip, just a little one, okay? Set aside a fixed amount each pay period. It's like one of those things that just automatically, that $20 is coming out every single pay period, doesn't matter what's going on. And use that for stocking up instead of these random great big purchasing times, Get a little bit at a time. It builds up. It really does. You don't need to try to save up to buy everything at once, because literally nobody does it that way. Nobody does it that way successfully. It just comes back to you don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Pick high impact items this month and build it step by step by step. Because 2026 may present more frequent shocks, this month's actions count more than ever before. Next, we're going to talk about timeline, rotation, your early morning preparedness system, so you're not scrambling around later like all those people. It is December right now. Right now it is December. We're actually 6 days into it, right? Then comes January through March, and then, spring through summer, and then next winter, poof, it's back again. So December, audit. You want to audit your pantry, buy the top items that you can, set up rotation. That's what you want to do this month. It's that simple. January through March, you want to deepen that stock, practice some meal kits, okay, because meal kits are fun to make, and practice your backup systems. Create your backup systems. Figure out what they are if you don't know. April through June, review, rotate, adjust, change up what needs to be changed, store some stuff differently. It's a great time going in and reviewing what you've done to see what you've learned over time. You will always learn something. I always learn something. I've been doing this for a while now. You will keep learning stuff. So it's a really great time to go in and review April through June. Your rotation system is really simple. So you want to label everything with the date that you bring it in, plus the use by date. Now, the use by date doesn't mean you have to use it by that date, okay? It's perfectly safe 99% of the time after that date. Would I wait 5 years to give it a try? No, because I'm smart, and I know that if it goes into my pantry, it's something that we eat. I hope that you're smart too. First in, first out is the only rule that you should be paying attention to, okay? And for my older adults, organize by shelf height. So avoid high and low extremes and use clear containers. That's going to help you a whole bunch. Now, emergency meal kits are so simple to do, and I know a whole bunch of you have way too much fun with it, okay? So, as an example, a 7-day kit for a winter storm or supply disruption is what you need to do. It includes water, canned protein, some kind of grain, okay, fruits, first aid, simple cooking methods. Poof, that's what you need right there. Now, if you're creating a checklist for winter storms, then you're going to add heating and power outage things. That's what you need to figure out how to navigate should winter storms come in, not the French toast run. Next, you want to look at flashlights. You want to look at battery packs, candles. I prefer battery operated. Fuel sources, manual can openers, insulated containers, blankets. Can you ever have too many blankets? The correct answer is I'm also going to ask you to spend some serious quality time doing a mindset shift. This is important because preparedness is not fear-driven. Good preparedness is not fear-driven, should never be. So if somebody is out there trying to scare the pants off you, okay, that's not what you want to listen to. You don't want fear-based preparedness. That is a whole realm of bad decisions wrapped up in an emotion based off of who knows what. So you want to make sure that you're creating peace of mind, okay? So be calm. Make steady progress, not overnight, and take pride in caring for your home and your loved ones because that's important. That's why we're doing this. The best plan is the one that you will actually use. That is the number one best plan. I could tell you 40 different plans, but if you don't use 39 of them, it doesn't matter. You only need that one that you will actually use. Systems plus routine matters more than extreme stockpiling. I want to say that again, okay? Systems plus routine matter more than extreme stockpiling. So you want to build that habit now. That's your edge for 2026 and beyond. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. We're going to try, okay? Mistake number 1, stockpiling random items without rotation. It ends up wasted. You have literally wasted money, time, and space. So, very simple solution is to follow your inventory worksheet and a calendar. Keep track of it. Mistake number 2, buying cheaply, but buying the wrong thing. Like if you're allergic to peanut butter and you buy a bunch of peanut butter. Who would do that? You'd be surprised, okay? Or items not usable for you. Don't buy stuff that you can't use. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money, okay? You want to tailor your pantry to you, not to me, not my suggestions, not what I stock up. You want it to fit you. You and your family are the most important ones. Mistake number 3 is ignoring storage and accessibility, especially for older adults. This is a big one, okay? Use clear tubs, label boldly, keep often used items right at the mid-shelf level because you don't want to have to go up and you don't want to have to go down. Mistake number 4, thinking prepping is a one-time purchase rather than an ongoing process. This is a lifestyle. It's not a one and done. It's never going to be a one and done, okay? I don't care how you frame it. It is never a one and done. So a simple solution is to follow a timeline, treat your pantry like part of your home routine. There are certain things you do when the times change. There are certain things you do in the spring, certain things you do in the fall. That's all you have to do. Your pantry should be part of that. It is a living, changing, learning part of your life. And it's great. Mistake number 5, failing to adapt to evolving risks. 2026 has different drivers than 2022, and these suckers are drunk, okay? So you need to adapt and evolve to today, because just because you did it yesterday, just because you did it 10 years ago, just because you did it 20 years ago, does not make it applicable today. You need to adapt to evolving risks because the risks are different. They're just different. It is the way it is. Stay informed. Revisit your plan every quarter. Things change. They always will. They always have. I think my key takeaway for right now is mistakes cost more than money, a lot more than money. Because I've read the mistakes and I've read what some of the commenters have said and how it frustrates them so bad they just give up, Mistakes cost so much more than money. They cost peace of mind. And that is invaluable. It really is. Avoiding them is part of being wise, not scary. So just because somebody says go out and buy 50 pounds of flour and put it in Mylar bags and it's good forever, and then you find out a few years down the road that it's not, it's absolutely not. Okay. Somebody else says, oh yeah, you can store it in your shed. Go right ahead. It's not. It's absolutely not. Okay. You need to be responsible for some of your own homework doing to make sure that for your circumstances, that it is what actually works and that you're not just throwing away money. When I give you advice, when I give you recommendations, I do it as a general thing because I'm talking to people from California to Australia, from Canada to the Netherlands, okay? Everybody lives someplace different with different environments, with different situations, with different space, constraints. So I have a very general thing. If it needs to be drilled down farther, that's where you take over and you actually investigate, not just take somebody's word for it, actually investigate what works for where you are. I cannot begin to express how important that is because I listened to people who said, oh yeah, I vacuum seal crackers and they're good years later. No, they're not. They are not. Okay. So I can tell you from my experience, I can tell you from my listening to people that were wrong. And I don't want you to fail and feel like a failure. If you fail, I want it to be a learning experience at the very least, but I prefer not to have you fail at all. So I will always try to give you the information it's going to be generic because I am talking to everybody, So that's kind of what we need to do. Now, finally, let's wrap up with your personal action plan because yours is going to be different than mine because you need to do this. This is something that you need to do this month in December to get started towards 2026 with confidence. Not as hard as you think, and I've got all the resources for you, okay? So, the December action plan, because you need one more thing to do, okay? We've got weeks 1, 2, and 3 because, well, I already missed the first week, and the last week is holidays, and who knows? So, we're going to do week 1. Pick the week, I don't care. Do your audit. Pick your top 3 items that need to be added. What is missing? What are the gaps that you found, okay? Week number 2, set up a rotation system and label the shelves. Plus, if you need to buy containers, buy containers. I highly recommend Dollar General, Dollar Tree, anything like that. If you need little special containers for stuff, but for the most part, you don't need a lot of containers. Week number 3, water. Buy water plus emergency kit items like flashlights, lighting, first aid. Decide on a meal kit contents. You don't have to make the meal kit, but decide on what contents you want in a meal kit. Yeah, that's all you're doing. You're doing some research, okay? So by the end of the month, you want to be able to review your budget spent. You want to mark what you bought. You want to set targets for January. Like I said, ongoing thing. And of course, I would love to hear you share your progress in the comments or the community post. I'll check, and I try to check all the time, and I try to respond as much as humanly possible. You're not prepping alone. I need you to know that. You are not alone. There's this whole community here of amazing, smart, wonderful people. So we're all doing it with you. You are not prepping alone. You are part of a community. Ask questions. Share wins, okay? Pause, reflect, do all that fun stuff. Because as a community, we not only learn from the stuff that we do, but we learn from what other people in the community experience also. And this community is amazing. So I've got some stuff for you to do. Okay, number one, check out the links to the videos that I mentioned. They are down below. Download the worksheet. It's in the description down below. It is an automatic download. It goes to wherever the device you're on automatically downloads to. I am no help, okay? Also, of course, if you like this video, leave me a comment. Hit the like button. If you want to hang out for a little while, subscribe. I had a goal for this year. I'm not going to make it, but I'd really love to have you be part of this community. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Let's try to get everybody getting a little bit better prepared, because 2026 is going to be a hot freaking mess, I think. Thanks for spending your time with me. Remember, 2026 isn't a distant worry, okay? It's right around the corner. The best time to act is now. You're building peace of mind for you, for your home, for your family, for your loved ones that you care about. Let's do this together. And until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.